I just got this blue one recently.
Wow.
So cute, and it has crypto on it. I don't know if you can see. It's so cute. I
That
love
is
it. I
so.
just got a golden Nessie too.
Yeah, I saw that. That's so cool.
Adorable.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome on into a very awesome episode of Behind the Voice because I'm joined by Justine, voiced Wattson in the Apex Legends. Super excited for her to be here, and thank you so much for taking the time and doing this. This is pretty incredible.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I'm excited.
It's so awesome to see that Apex Legends has grown so much. It's been 4 years, 4 year anniversary. How do you feel like it's been 4 long years and the game is still going strong as hell?
I feel so lucky to be a part of this game. I was just with some of my fellow voice actors from Apex this weekend in Las
Yeah.
Vegas at a convention, a Comic-Con, and we just had the best time. We had incredible fans, the panels, people who were just so delighted by the game and what these characters meant to them. It's amazing to see the fan reaction. We obviously had no idea because there was no promotion, no anything to do with the game before it came out. They just dropped it.
Yeah.
And it was like what Mela Lee always says, who's the voice of Lifeline, like lightning in a bottle, this game. It's insane. I feel very fortunate.
Yeah, it is insane. And you did mention like it dropped from out of nowhere. Like I was not expecting at the time when it came out. I was like, oh, okay, great, it's a new game. That's like it came out of literally out of nowhere. But I did not expect that this game would go so far beyond, because now it has like, I think according to the stats that the internet says, it's around 130 million players playing the game, which is like, it's insane to me. Like there's so many people playing the game and it never stops. Like people always jump back, and now they got with the new updates and everything, and people are enjoying it even more with the new things that they've introduced to the game, which is pretty cool. Like you just mentioned that you kind of like didn't have an idea like when the game first came out that it's going to be going so big. But I know you remember you did the voice line recording after a few of the people who recorded the voices. I think the first few characters that had their voices done, you did after them, I believe.
Yes. So I got cast in, I believe, November 2018. So the game still hadn't come out yet. The game was coming out, I think the game came out February 2019.
Yeah.
So I know that the original 8 actors in season 0, I know that they had already started recording, and I'm friends with Allegra Clark, who plays Bloodhound. And she had already been recording for a while, I believe. But that was the only person I knew who was already in the game. And then when I found out and they told me, oh, Allegra Clark is also in this game, I was so excited. And we secretly had a meetup for dinner and said, I think we're in the same game. So it was so exciting. So I recorded a few months before it came out, and then I had to keep it a big secret until Wattson's big reveal in season 2.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I played Wattson like a little bit. I couldn't play Wattson. To be honest, I didn't play Apex Sense a hell of a lot more. I was playing when the game came out, but then tons of game came out after that. So like I kept on trying to play different characters. I played Bloodhound a lot. I still do.
Nice.
For some reason, I just really am into Bloodhound, and it's like always that person. I played Wattson. It was really fun with fencing all this electrics and all that stuff. But I remember that you have the French accent. And I know you mentioned in previous interviews that you had French classes, that you took a lot of classes on that. Was learning French a thing that you wanted to do, or was it like told to you like, hey, you gotta learn French?
So in middle school, we had to choose. We got a choice of 3 languages between Latin, Spanish, and French. And I love learning languages, but I had always wanted to go to France. And I did. I went to France when I was in 4th grade. So when I was 9 years old. So I had a special connection. My dad took us on a trip there because he had to do business in Europe. And so we went to France, and after that trip, I always wanted to learn more French. So that's how I decided on taking French classes. And I took French class in middle school and high school for 5 years, and I loved it. And I wish I remembered more of it. I wish I was fluent, and I need to start taking French classes again to remember all the conjugations and the verbs and all my grammar. The vocabulary words, I feel like I'm I can get by, but it's the grammar that's the hardest part probably for me.
I can totally imagine that. My sister actually went to France on 2019. Yeah,
Oh,
2019,
great.
and just
Nice.
like for work purpose. But she enjoyed the hell out of that place, and she for the first time she lived alone, and I was like, you're living alone out of here in France. It was pretty cool. So she loved it.
That's awesome.
And when she came back, it was pandemic, so it was great. So, but you had that French accent, but did you ever record lines in French for the game?
Yeah, there's some lines like bon boulot, which means good work. I think I said bonne chance, which means good
Yeah.
luck. So there's a bunch of French lines in the game, like merci. Yeah.
uh, with all of these lines that you recorded, you have recorded so much time. There's more lines, obviously, we can't talk about it. But what's your favorite line that you can mention? What is your favorite line so far?
You know, I have so many. There's so many great Wattson electrical puns, but I love I'm currently at the top of my game. Get it? I love that one.
I really enjoy that. That the first time I don't know if it was in the trailer or not, or maybe it was, but I think I heard that. I was like, oh, that's pretty cute. I really like your French accent. I
Thank
find that
you.
very, very cute. I'm like, this is so cool. Is there
Thanks.
any particular line that people kind of ask you to, say?
That one a lot. Also the heirloom quote, which is try as you might, you can't kilowatt, son. So that's a good one.
That is amazing. And speaking of heirloom, you have Nessie as the heirloom. Like you have right behind you as well. Like
I've got my Nessies.
yeah.
Yes, so many, so many. I love this blue one. I just got this blue one recently.
Wow.
So cute, and it has crypto on it. I don't know if you can see. It's so cute. I
That
love
is
it. I
so
just got a
cool.
golden Nessie too.
Yeah, I saw that. That's so cool.
Adorable. Yeah, I've got to put it in my Nessie collection over here.
Is it ever like, do you take your Nessies and sleep like right next to it?
No, they live in my dining room.
Damn.
They watch me eat.
All of them watch you eat. Jeez.
They all watch very carefully. They're all hungry and they watch me eat. Unfortunately, I can't feed them.
Well, they're there, but it's just I really did not expect the heirloom would be like a Nexi. It's just so cool. Like, okay, that's Pico, and she's like hugging and all that stuff. It's very cute, and I love it. And I've seen you like it goes with you everywhere, so it's pretty cool to have that.
Yeah. Yeah, the heirloom though is like the scanner, but yeah, she does have the Nessies in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I know there's like so many characters in this game, and they keep on adding. I know this season they haven't added, but there might be more. Apart from your character, which is like the character that you would like to play?
I love Pathfinder. I love when he says, "Hi, friend." I love that. I also would love to play someone evil and dark, a villain. So I think it would be so much fun to play somebody like Revenant or someone like Ash. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I never get to play those roles. I usually play bubbly, happy roles. So to play a villain would be a lot of fun for me.
I guess too much happy rolls. Now you gotta go to the dark side. I say. It's
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like it's fun. I think so that to play a villain role, it's like very different than like being like all good and like everything's gonna be great. And then, but being a villain, it's just I really enjoy the villain characters, and they're like pretty. Their story is pretty cool to see. That's why I like Revenant a
Yeah.
lot in Apex Legends as well.
Yeah, Revenant's lore story I
Yeah.
thought was so interesting. His backstory, I can't wait to see more of what happens with his character.
What if what if Wattson has a story where she just turns complete 180 and just goes all negative?
That would be really interesting. That would be so funny.
That would be, it would be like Caustic was in the end right, and like she is a problem, and like she finally reveals like I was hiding it all along. I was not the good guy. Hey, that would be pretty fun. Okay, in terms of lore, there's Apex Legends ring, and then there's some people working behind the scenes. If you, Justine, which one would you pick? Would you rather be in the ring, or would you rather be like kind of behind the scenes and just working?
You mean like a developer or an actor?
No, I'm saying like in, for example, in the game, like when people go in the game, like as legends, like as the characters of legends, would you be as a legend, being in the ring and like fighting people, or would you be like, okay, managing the ring and the games as per inside the game lore?
Oh, interesting. I think probably a bit of both. Why not? Have it
Wow,
all.
have it all. I want to have all. That's that's pretty cool. But are you involved mostly in like in the world of video games? Are you involved a lot, or do you like know bits and pieces here and there?
I don't really have time to play that many video games. We're in the booth recording
Yeah.
so much of the time and auditioning for other projects. So, I would like to get more into it, but there's just not enough hours in the day, unfortunately.
I can totally understand that. It's the thing same when everybody like works a ton, and it's great, especially voice actors. I know you guys like have so much to do. It's almost impossible for you guys to even play a game. So I mean, if you guys even do, that's incredible. So, but do you?
We've played a bit at the Respawn Studios and at EA Play, which
Oh,
was a lot of fun, but I'm really not very good. I need a lot of practice and I need a lot of tutorial on Wattson.
even I play a lot of games, but I suck at Apex Legends. So I'm right there. Do you know of like around like any of the new games that comes out? Do you know anything about it, or is it like you get to know from your friends or from your fellow actors?
For other games
Yeah,
besides Apex, you're
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, sometimes I audition for new games all the time, so a lot of times they have code names, so they're
Hmm.
not allowed to tell us the actual names. But yeah, I've got another game coming out this year, so hopefully it comes out soon. I'm not exactly sure when, but I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to be a super awesome game. So
Wow.
you'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that as well. Excited.
Yeah,
But from the
it's a very different character from Wattson too.
you mean
Very
it's
different.
oh is it you mean that it's not going to be as good as what's
No, no, I think it's going to be great. It's just a totally different character.
the games that you've known so far, if you have known of any of the games before, is there any games that you wish like, oh, I would love to be a part of this game?
You know, anything Disney. I did a trailer voice one time for Kingdom Hearts, which was so much fun. I loved that. So anything Disney, if Disney was going to make another game, I would love to do something with Disney.
Wow. Well, that's pretty cool. Kingdom Hearts is actually, my God, that game is so popular, and they
Yeah,
keep on bringing more and more. So maybe you never know. Maybe you can get something on Disney. That would be pretty cool.
you never know.
Do you have like a favorite Disney character or something?
Oh my goodness, so many. I love the Jungle Book so much.
Oh,
I
yes.
love the music, the jazzy music in the Jungle Book. And I love Lady and the Tramp. So probably my favorite character would be Baloo the bear in Jungle Book. He's so funny and so adorable, and also King Louie the monkey,
Like,
the orangutan.
yeah,
Yeah, I love him.
so cool. I think for me, I think characters from The Lion King is like
Oh yeah.
very. I don't know. I just immediately attached because Timon and Pumbaa were also there in that, and I love those
Uh-huh.
guys. So cool.
Yeah.
So I really like Lion
Yeah.
King.
Yeah, the Lion King, the live show, the Broadway show is actually in Los Angeles right now.
Oh
So I'm
wow,
really hoping to see it. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. I want to take my friends, little girls, to see it. It's so beautiful.
wow, that's so cool. I had no idea. That's pretty cool. I hope you get to see it. It's like I
Yeah, me too.
really love the Lion King, and to be honest, I really love a lot of Disney movies and shows. I've not watched anything recently, but all the ones in the all the way back when I used to watch, so fun. And it's just
Yeah.
when I see it and see it online, like, oh gosh, I want to watch them again, and then I realize, oh gosh, I don't have any time. So very fun times. But right now we have like video games turning into a lot. It's happening a lot that video games are turning into movies and TV shows. Do you think like Apex
Hmm.
Titans can ever have a possibility to turn into a movie or a TV show?
I would love that. I was asked that question actually yesterday in Las Vegas at the Level Up Con, and they were we got some questions about if Apex was ever going to become an animated series,
Oh yeah, that
TV
too.
show, and I would love that. I really hope that that happens. If anyone wants to tweet or Instagram message Respawn and let them know, we would love that. It would be so much fun.
You mentioned that you have like you do so many recordings all at a time. Is it ever like
Yeah.
I mean you must be like really exhausted by the time like all these recordings are done. Do you ever know like which ones would be releasing to the people now, or which ones will be coming out later? Do they ever tell you like what's gonna release first?
Sometimes, yeah, they say, okay, this is for the next, this is for 2 seasons from now or 3 seasons from now. Yeah. So, but sometimes it changes, and then they'll say, oh, you know what? We're not going to put that in this season. We're going to put that in another season, or they will just scrap it or add something different the next time. So it changes, which is great. They're making, I think really good decisions about it.
Yeah, so far definitely. You are playing Watson for so long. What is the like most important thing that you take away from that character?
I just love her positivity. I love her outlook on life. I love her puns. Her electrical puns are so great.
Yeah.
I think the thing that moves me the most is how much joy she brings to people. I constantly get messages from fans and meeting fans in person at conventions that say that it's Wattson has gotten them out of a really hard time in their lives, or it's really cheered them up when they felt down, or it's just made them laugh when they needed it the most. And that really makes me so happy and so grateful.
That is so cool. That is so cool. It's something that I know a lot of people really attach themselves to these characters, and it's really cool to listen to their stories and where where they are now from after playing using these characters in the games and after playing the games in general. And it's so incredible to hear the stories. Voice acting in general is very hard, definitely very hard to do, and it's for anybody who's starting new. It's like even harder to get there. What is like the most challenging aspect of voice acting that you feel?
I think it's the rejection. You're constantly auditioning, and most of the time you don't book the job. And so having to move on from that and forget about it, and not get down on yourself because you didn't book a job, and say, on to the next. And I've learned, to try and forget about auditions so that when I actually do book something, I'm so pleasantly surprised. Like when I booked Apex, I think I asked my voiceover agent, okay, so which one was this? Oh, this is the French girl. Oh, okay. Okay, great. I go here. All right, great. I really didn't know. And it's better for my mental health when I don't make such a big deal about every single audition.
Yeah, that is actually very that is actually works in every place, I guess. If booking jobs in general, like you don't think
Yeah.
about it like, okay, I did the interview and I don't think about it because like I know like my sister and like a lot of people I know like who would go for an interview and that they're like, okay, what will this happen or not, will I be able to get it or not, and they just go crazy on that. And then when they don't get it, so they even go down. So it just affects their mental health, and just like in general it just affects them. So I think your way of like forgetting it for the time being, and then whenever it happens. If it doesn't happen, it's great. Like you get to learn something, I guess. But like I think especially for me, and I believe for a lot of people as well, when there's something new that I do, like whenever something new anybody else does, they have like this feeling of anxious, like anxiety kicks in. Do you have like any of those moments, like in voice acting at this point, like where you're super anxious whenever there's a new, either a new character that you're doing, or you're going back to the studio or to the booth to record something? Do you ever feel that anxious?
I feel like it's the best thing when you do book something, and yeah, maybe there's a little bit of nervousness the first time. I don't know how this director is going to be. Will they like me? Will they be nice? You just never know. But probably the most anxiety I get is in the callback, not the initial audition,
Mm.
but a callback, because callback is when it's down to just a few people, or a very limited amount of people, and you're so close and you really want to book it, and then that's when I get oh God, just if I could just book this one day, you know. So I think that's the thing for me of when I get the most anxious.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine how that moment would be. It would be super crazy. I would probably be my heart might be beating very fast. I'm like, I probably will not be eating and drinking. So that's gonna be great.
Yeah, luckily for me, for my Apex casting, I didn't have any callbacks. I got booked directly from my first audition, which was from my home studio, and never met anyone. Did it from all from home in my little closet studio, and then went to the studio, went to their studio to record. And so, but that's not the same for all the Apex actors.
Yeah.
A lot of them did have callbacks, uh, and and so I don't know how I got so lucky. I'm very very lucky. I didn't have to.
Oh man. I mean, that's cool. You got to go without those callbacks. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I skipped a step, which was so nice.
Oh man, that is pretty cool. Um, it, okay, so in terms of video games, like I know that there's so many games that comes out like action, and then there's the adventure and stuff like that. Is it like any particular genre that you like that you would want a game to have and that you want to be a part of as well?
For me, I love comedy. So anything funny, anything punny. I love funny characters, but I just think it would be so much fun to play a baddie. I would love to play a
Mm,
villain. I think that would be great. I love getting to stretch myself. Anything that I get to do that makes people happy, I it makes me happy.
that's awesome. I would love to see more of those like different type of characters that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Especially the villain one. I'm super excited for
Yes.
that
Me
happens.
too. Me too.
I
Yeah.
I love those villain characters. Well, like as I mentioned, like about voice acting before, like a lot of people are trying to get into it. Do you have like any advice on what they should be doing to help themselves get better in voice acting?
Yeah, there's a great website that's created by D. Bradley Baker. He's a voice actor, incredible character, monster voice actor, and he's done probably thousands of voiceover roles. He has a great website called I want to be a voiceactor.com. It's so comprehensive, it's so fantastic. I go back to it because it's for beginners to pros, and it's just such a wealth of information. So I highly recommend that website. I recommend watching VO Buzz Weekly, which is a great YouTube show that these two voiceover professionals interview voice actors about how they got their start, and it's I think hundreds of episodes of top
Oh,
voice actors. So that's great. And also to take acting classes, take theater classes, improv classes, um, and get training.
yeah. And I think a lot of people kind of skip on the taking the acting classes usually or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
because it's not just voiceover, it's voice acting.
yeah,
You know, we're still acting, it's just with our voices instead of with our whole bodies.
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, and it's very important to like get all of that. And to be honest, there was a time when I was like, I think I'm interested in this, and then obviously later down figured out like, okay, I'm not really into acting. I was just looking at, okay, this is looking very flashy and everything, and I would love to go voice in games. And then I realized like that is not how you do this, man. Like you have to be really, if you're really into acting, then it's probably a good step to take in. Otherwise, no. So I stayed in here. I would love to just, that's why I just love to just talk to people who are into voice actors, like into video games and voice acting. Thank you so much for taking the time for talking to me about Apex Legends and everything else. It's just been super awesome. Got to know so much more about your character and everything. So thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. And I'm super excited to see what comes up next, the next upcoming game that's coming as well. Super excited to see when that comes out, what it is. I cannot wait. So, all the best for everything that comes out in the future.
Thank you. Best to you too.